His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II Asantehene bought His Excellency John Mahama Basso on the KNUST Teaching Hospital. Abusiafo na sa hospital 18 years and so ye the moon some bremo enra 59th congregation of KNUST omo PhD graduate His Excellency the Vice President Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang ekopiem wo ho ne ho ana Otumfuo Osei Tutu II ebo aban na baso se osufre se KNUST Teaching Hospital omomewie anokwa abana show commitment say dia sa teaching hospital na we be ka say abandoned for 18 years no omo ebewie ye betie His Excellency the Vice President Kasa enso na we be more background of how yababedu hanim say in the first place Education Minister Honorable Haruna Idrusu ekopiem KNUST about a month ago ana odiko tuja say abana release 46 million Ghana cedis for USA hospital no na ewie e be say ekwepe but ni nyina no shall 5 months ago. You be judged at the amount. Share this Naana TV. Then patcho. Obe click the subscribe button. We are bell notification icon. Now what I don't understand. Be a video you drop here. You be the first person to get the video. You enjoy it. Wish you na. Obe leave comments in the comment section. After we are. Obe share na for so anya bi. Ashe many person minkomunya. Naana TV. Remember catch you say. We don't have to be selfish, okay? We enjoy and we share na for so anya bi. Ashe. Young man say me. The only say. His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II Enra KNUST Great Hall 59th congregation omo PhD graduate no ana okopiemu honum together with the Vice President of the Republic Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang na His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II kasa na say enipa ya de a wo say ye e wo say bo His Excellency John Mahama abaso. In fact o use English phrase bi said the president deserves resounding applause na chesene nsembo no pa Nina KNUST Teaching Hospital. Now, my background to this particular story, why we are here today. 5 months ago, na KNUST graduates ni bi graduate. Enti His Excellency the Vice President 5 months ago ekopiem KNUST Great Hall. Sa eso ana His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II ekopiem wo honum. Na Otumfuo Osei Tutu II ordinance 7 tuja no. Ana osre aban ne say KNUST Teaching Hospital no akamuru mu ache. Obesra ban no ese omumewie e ma ne behia na ye pa because over the years or the clinical but home popo ye na emaye ba we de Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang ewo Great Hall as at 5 months ago ne de or the befa no so se enkodu His Excellency John Mahama so ye na KNUST Teaching Hospital no omumewie no mbewie a ebeboa Kumasi Asantehene ene Ghana ha nyina in terms of healthcare na say ni ensemo a His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II edituja owie no ana Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang show say message na His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II edi amano no obekari edi akoma His Excellency John Mahama amoma be diju hujuma. 5 months ago, let me bring you this insert from Joy News report on where His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II hrem epa abane chose omewie KNUST Teaching Hospital. Afemi ba how you na do su kasafa ho ansana abaseboa His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II edi ama His Excellency John Mahama and media bro Professor Jane Naana Opoku-Agyemang so enra osakasa great. So this insert is 5 months ago His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II or the message ever Prof Jane so as encover His Excellency John Mahama say KNUST Teaching Hospital no omomewie ma no.
Madam Vice President, normally I choose times like this to talk about issues about the university, and I will talk about my teaching hospital. My NUST Teaching Hospital is still not finished, even though there has been tremendous progress. And I'm passionate about this project because of the peculiar purpose it is meant to serve. When finished, it will complement the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital in the training of medical and allied health students of NUST. So, Madam Vice President, please impress on His Excellency the President to prioritize this essential project and expedite its completion.
Assuring of the government's support for its completion, Vice President Professor Naana Opoku-Agyemang reiterated the government's commitment to fostering research for national development.
You spoke about completion of teaching hospital. That cannot be more important. It's very, very important. And I want to assure you that I take this concern to the President, and I have no doubt that he will take the right steps. Government commits to creating a sustained resource base to support research. This same commitment motivated the NDC government in 2016, when I was in the Ministry for Education, to begin setting up the National Research Fund. After much debate, the bill was passed by Parliament as the National Research Fund Act. This government is once again committed to making the fund operational, and as a result has set up the National Research Fund Board and its secretariat with an initial amount of 50 million Ghana cedis from the GET Fund.
Enti Abusiafo, that was a report from Joy News. Enti Prof Jane and His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, I know see 5 months ago, Anna, just a month ago, I think a little over a month ago. Honorable Haruna Idusi Education Minister, also ko PMO KNUST program bisa. And I was say, oh, Abana tiemu sufre. Na sisi amene ukasei, Abana a release 46 million Ghana cedis. Say KNUST Teaching Hospital no. Ye wia. Omo allocate some millions of dollars. I say fire equip hospital instead of be operational. Now I improve healthcare delivery in the Ashanti region and Ghana at large. So about a little over a month ago, how will I do so? Bosha Okoshe and Otumfuo Osei Tutu II on the KNUST Teaching Hospital in the Afemi Bar. Now the current one, which is His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, Obo and President Mahama Basso, Nena Abaino, Yedi Abremu. So how will I do so 2 months ago, after say Otumfuo Prof Jane Kasa 5 months ago, no, 2 months ago, and I say a little over a month ago, and also by assure say you release 46 million Ghana cedis. Say KNUST Teaching Hospital, no,
and I'm happy to announce that under our research agenda, we are committing 46 million Ghana cedis for the completion of the teaching hospital. I reach out to the contractor executing the civil work, Kwanzaa, and ask them to submit their IPCs and return to site within the next 30 days for the completion of the civil work.
He further disclosed that funds will also be allocated for equipping the hospital and constructing a multi-purpose lecture theatre for the School of Medical Sciences.
President Mahama have also requested me through the GET Fund to additionally commit $38 million for the equipping of the teaching hospital. That will be part of the 2025 to 2026 formula of the GET Fund. I have instructed the administrator of the GET Fund. I'm structuring the expenditure for UST because I have an onerous responsibility to be fair to other institutions of higher learning. So 46 plus 38 is this year done. Into our 2027 formula, we will do 2 of the multi-purpose lecture theatre for you at 10 million.
Enti Abusiafo, assurance no e buy from Haruna Idusi, Honorable Education Minister, I think a little over a month ago. Na enra Great Hall KNUST graduates no PhD holders no more graduating no. And His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II essay. Enipa ya dia ozaye ai or the adesrede be to aban anim through Professor Jane Naana Opoku-Agyemang, Vice President of Ghana. Na aban no atu ho anamon ama wama Education Minister Haruna Idusi aba be shebo say 46 million Ghana cedis ye be release e dey we KNUST Teaching Hospital. Sa enso na ye be allocate some millions of dollars e dey akope the teaching hospital say be improve healthcare delivery. And on Otumfuo Osei Tutu II His Excellency John Mahama Basso or say he deserves resounding applause. And Jane and Sam Abani na say teaching hospital na Abusiafo 18 months. And do the previous insetter video no na said yes abandoned video the current state no ana etwaguno 18 months. Sorry, 18 years. Hey, man wafum mo fanchane 18 years. And as a project in Akamua Mayenwi. See, I'm going say, according to Education Minister, 46 million Ghana cedis. Omo release ya, omo the air 12 million. So contract and concern, we hear say, ono and the A2 item. I make sure say facility no be completed. And His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II say, any senodi tuja ya osi yamo President Mahama Basso. We na also President Mahama say, when it comes to unemployment, President Mahama enya humbibi. Na, I mean, Prof Jane actually say. Se ode adesere to nanim se onfan koma His Excellency John Mahama otu wanamo eti apart from KNUST Teaching Hospital na ye born about no obesa asere no say eba unemployment in this country President Mahama into wanamo na on tackle
that we have diligently undergone this tutelage. We must prepare our students and researchers to engage critically, to innovate responsibly, and to ensure that technology reflects our cultural values and advances the well-being of humanity. On this note, I commend you, my dear daughter, not only for your brilliant scholarship, but for standing as a shining inspiration for the youth of Ghana, especially to our young women who aspire to build careers in science and technology. Her life and work remind us that excellence knows no boundaries when it is guided by vision and discipline. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at each congregation ceremony, it is my solemn duty as Chancellor to draw the nation's attention to matters of national importance that touch the very fabric of our university and to bring them to the attention of the government and other stakeholders. On this occasion, I will highlight just a few. Your Excellency, the Vice President, the story of KNUST Teaching Hospital is not new anymore at our national discourse. I have over the years on this same platform screamed it loud for attention. I was as elated to learn through you to the President and then having sent your Honorable Minister for Education during the grand debut of the 50th anniversary celebration of our School of Medical Sciences, promised the government of Ghana's commitment to completing our teaching hospital project. In fact, the Minister, on behalf of His Excellency the President of the Republic, announced the release of 46 million Ghana cedis for the completion of the teaching hospital, an additional 38 million United States dollars to equip the teaching hospital as part of the 2025-26 formula of GET Fund. You know, the reason why I said I'm well pleased in her is that it was through her that we sent the message. And she carried the message, and the monies are being delivered, and I'm sure we shall have it. I haven't asked the Vice Chancellor if we have any additions because I would have sent it through her again. This is in addition to the government's commitment to construct 2 multi-purpose lecture theaters at a cost of $10 million US. Ladies and gentlemen, the President deserves a resounding applause, and please join me in doing so. And thank you also, Madam Vice President. I trust this is not a mere promise, and I know that when you promise, you will deliver. Your Excellency, I implore you to seize this historic moment and immortalize your name as the game changer who brought this noble vision to its glorious completion, a legacy that generations unborn will honor and remember you for. Another pressing challenge confronting this university is the issue of inadequate staffing. At the recent 5-year cyclical review of our university by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission, I am told the challenge of our unfavorable student-to-lecturer ratio was brought sharply into focus. This situation places a heavy strain on our dedicated lecturers and threatens the quality of teaching and learning we provide. Madam Vice President, through you again, I call on your government to treat this matter with urgency and as a moral obligation, for it is not merely a question of numbers, but of the very future of our youth and the nation. Our universities must be empowered to provide not only instruction, but also the close guidance and mentorship that mold leaders, innovators, and custodians of our nation's destiny. I therefore appeal to your government, and through you to the President again, to grant the necessary financial clearance for the recruitment of additional academic and administrative staff for the university. Only then can we sustain the quality of education that prepares our graduates to meet the demands of a rapidly changing world. And I know you will carry this message also and deliver for us. We are all aware of the unemployment situation in this nation. It was on that basis that I raised the issue when the German President and Ambassador paid courtesy calls on me last month. I wish to reiterate my appeal to the German government to support small and medium-scale industries. Unemployment is a major issue in the country. It is a national concern, and the President should take a keen interest in this critical issue. Barely 5 years ago, in this very hall, I issued a solemn and unequivocal warning against any encroachment upon the lands of KNUST. However, I have received reports indicating that some recalcitrant people continue to test our resolve. Let me therefore say again, with absolute clarity and without equivocation, any encroachment upon Nest lands will not be tolerated.
Job.
As I indicated 5 years ago, these lands are not ordinary. These are sacred legacies entrusted to us by our forebears and reserved for the education and upliftment of generations unborn. They belong to the nation of Ghana and to the bright minds who will shape her future. Any attempt to prey on them is an attack on that sacred trust and will be met with decisive action. I hereby command all who harbor such intentions to desist immediately and keep away from the sacred lands of KNUST. And unfortunately, they get some lawyers to take these matters to court when they know that it shouldn't be so. Especially here, people present us as Abusia opinion and then family lands, when it is not like that. And yet lawyers, by their profession, take it to court to defend us, which is wrong. They have been educated, and they know that this is also an educational institution. Why do you want to alienate lands belonging to the university for that? With all due respect, legal professionals, please assess what cases come to you before you do that. And now, to you, our gallant graduates. Today marks both the end of your academic journey at KNUST and a new beginning. You carry forward not only the knowledge acquired here, but also the values of resilience, integrity, and a commitment to serving humanity. And you step into the wider world. As you step into the wider world, let innovation guide your ideas. Integrity anchor your actions, and compassion shape your leadership. The true measure of education lies not in personal gain alone, but in the light you bring into the lives of others. Let us carry with us the solemn duty to ensure that in the unfolding story of artificial intelligence, Africa shall not stand on a mere spectator, but as an active and responsible participant. Let us embrace the opportunities of this new age while safeguarding the dignity and destiny of humankind. Go forth, therefore, and let your lives be a living testimony to the greatness of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And now, by the powers conferred on me as Chancellor of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Kumasi, I, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II Asantehene, hereby declare this assembly duly constituted.
Enti abusuafo His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II bench the board and hobo to draw ofiti krota na ho gege afiefum ai sunakura amutokura sunakura kronkron and sunakura kronkron and His Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu II Asantehene ana wo se yemmo President Mahama ene na aba na abaso ni nyina on KNUST Teaching Hospital na owie no ana Prof Jane eba mu biem ana wo se Otumfuo ya acknowledge wo praise no yes ye gitum now concern already about unemployment no o she obo se or the message in Mokakoma, His Excellency John Mahama. Na, I mean, His Excellency the Wachere, ese o de o message commando obetu hu anamo. Nti o GDS say or the message in Koma, His Excellency John Mahama obetu hu anamo when it comes to the issue of unemployment. Yemko Prof Jane, Professor Jane Naana Opoku-Agyemang, Vice President of the Republic, after so two workers are no one also messenger or the by ENE.
Osei Tutu II, Asantehene, and Chancellor for the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Ministers of State and other members of government, the Chair and Council of KNUST, the Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellor, and Vice Chancellors from other universities, the registrar and registrars from other universities, provosts, members of convocation, faculty and staff, Naana alumni, graduates and award winners, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Thank you. On behalf of His Excellency, President John Mahama, I thank you for the kind invitation to be part of this special graduation ceremony. And Otumfuo II, please allow me to address your concerns. First, I want to acknowledge the support my government has been able to give. We are very grateful for that. I also hear you on the completion of projects, and believe me, as usual, I will take your concerns to our President, and I have no doubt that as he normally does it, he will respond to these too. I also heard you on the importance of FTE in order to meet the faculty requirements, and definitely the needful will be done. And my young sister, the Vice Chancellor, I heard you on the achievements of KNUST, and from where I stand, I feel very privileged and blessed to be very happy about the achievements of all the universities. So I'm very impressed, and I want to urge all our students, including those in KNUST, to continue to put the smiles on our faces. Congratulations. It is a pleasure and a responsibility to be with all of you today, because we are here today to confer hard-earned degrees and to acknowledge years of study, research, and service. The graduates here today have learned that academic research is not a sprint. It is a long and deliberate climb. They have wrestled with questions for which there were few answers, tested ideas, and demanded their creativity. Now they have contributed in their own way to the expansion of human knowledge. Congratulations. We also honor the award winners for representing excellence, leadership, integrity, and work that transcends self-interest. Congratulations to our speaker too. All of these remind us that scholarship must be connected to impact and not limited to the lecture theaters or the laboratories. Ladies and gentlemen, we are very proud to note that KNUST continues to insist on academic excellence and on relevance. The university is engaging more in translational research. That is very important. Scholars are joining theory with practice and generating results across disciplines, borders, and sectors. Many have produced dissertations, studies, or designs to address our priorities, whether health systems innovation, agricultural sustainability, or industrial policy. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, these research projects go beyond academic exercises and contribute to our national development agenda. Your Majesty, Otumfuo, distinguished guests, government has ever remained committed to the highest standards of teaching, research, and learning. Several high-level interventions are now shaping our nation's educational terrain, I will touch on a few. In October this year, President John Mahama took a significant step toward widening access to higher education by launching the free tertiary education for persons with disabilities. For him, it is a clear act of justice. Under the program, students with certified disabilities admitted to accredited public tertiary institutions have their tuition and academic facility fees absorbed by the state. The system is administered through a mechanism designed to ensure efficiency and transparency. It is a thoughtful reform that sits within an inclusion agenda. This agenda aims to remove structural barriers and enable every learner to participate meaningfully in the nation's intellectual and professional life. Along this, let me touch on the no fees stress policy, which took effect in the 2025-2026 academic year and has already eased the transition into tertiary education for thousands of young persons. The policy, therefore, removed one of the steepest obstacles at the point of entry. For more than 120,000 students have already benefited from the new reimbursement structure. This is an equity-driven intervention designed to ensure that admission to our tertiary institutions is determined as much as possible by merit and also by aspiration. In this way, the policy broadens opportunities and strengthens the long-term development of Ghana's human capital. Your Majesty, please allow me to turn to our accomplished graduates. The distinction you carry comes with a particular kind of duty. A higher degree is a qualification as well as an expectation. And the expectation is that you will lead inquiry, elevate discourse, and apply your intellect to complex problems. The Ghanaian public, and indeed the African continent, needs thought leadership grounded in resourcefulness, data, ethics, and public value. Whether you remain in academia, join public service, launch a business, or advise international bodies, your ability to think clearly and act responsibly will be tested. Do not forget that your families, communities, and nation have not invested in your education for your benefit alone. Remember them and maintain your academic humility. True scholarship implies a willingness to be questioned and the ability and confidence to change one's mind when evidence demands it. This is especially important in our world today. Our world today, which is often crowded by noise, that is the time we need to hear those who approach issues thoughtfully. You are keepers of a scholarly tradition that demands vigor, respect, and a refusal to reduce complexity to slogans. The real value of your degree may not even be evident today, but it will be seen over time in the institutions you strengthen, the young people you mentor, the policies you help refine, and the knowledge you leave behind. As a nation, we look to you not necessarily for easy answers, but for better questions, sharper tools, and deeper insight. Congratulations to all of you. May your knowledge serve your aspirations, your society, and your time. I want to thank you, and may God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you very much.
Afia busafo megie se wonya ho ntiase where we started from and where we are now today. Yedamu nyina asesem wo hwe KNUST Teaching Hospital and ho nsensem largely and e dey bro in this episode. Me dey Stephen Zando mpacho okono. Obe like no leave you comments in the comment section. Mpacho ja comment in the comment section. Afia we are obe share for so anya bia hwe. Naana Janto TV ni megidi say in the next episode possibly Dr. Samuel Kwadwo Janto the Soka Toman obetinenka right here on Naana Janto TV Makramo.